everyone, Arman here of Jest Fragrances, and I'm here to compare again two fragrances that I think are quite alike, and these are Creed Aventus and Hacivat from NISHANE. So these fragrances are often compared to have similar scent profiles, and I must say that they actually kind of smell similar, although of course there are differences. So both Creed Aventus and Hacivat are from the Chypra family, meaning that they are predominantly characterized by bergamot top note and the base of oak moss. Aventus was launched in 2010 while Hacivat was launched in 2017. So the introduction of Aventus in 2010 gave renewed interest in Chypra fragrances. The perfumer of Aventus is Erwin and Olivier Creed, while Hacivat is by George Lee. And again, they're both from the Chypra family, although Aventus is considered to be a Chypra fruity fragrance, while Hacivat is considered to be a Chypra woody fragrance. Aventus is more expensive. It costs around $445 US, and this is based on the website of Creed, while Hacivat is cheaper by about $100. This is about $350, and these are actually based on a 100 milliliter fragrance bottle. So in terms of fragrance notes, both of them have pineapple, bergamot, patchouli, jasmine, and oak moss. Aventus being the one which preceded this, it's quite clear that Hacivat actually copied Aventus. There's no doubt about it. But you know, there are also differences in the note breakdown. Like Creed Aventus is fruitier because it has blackcurrant, apple, and it's also more floral, I would say, because it has rose. It has musk, ambergris, and vanilla. So this is a little bit sweeter, I would say, as compared to Hacivat, which is a bit drier and more citrusy. Another thing which is different but also similar is that both of them have woody notes. Creed Aventus has birch notes, which characterize its smokiness, while Hacivat has cedar and woody notes. Creed Aventus, I think, is fruitier, a little bit more floral, and also a little bit sweeter because of the vanilla. By the way, what I'm reviewing here is a 2016 batch. We all know that there are batch differences with Creed Aventus. So I'm comparing this with this based on the 2016 batch. And Hacivat is a little bit drier and more citrusy. It lacks any sweetness. And I think this is also a little bit more aggressive as compared to this. But you know, in order to give a more objective comparison, I will be rating these two fragrances based on the following criteria. And these criteria are scent, performance, price, presentation, and the compliments that I get from these fragrances. So the highest rating would be 10 and the lowest would be 5. In terms of scent, I will give Creed Aventus a 10, a perfect 10. And that's because, first of all, this is, I think, more well blended. This, I think, is more versatile. This, I think, is more original. And like what I've said, this has popularized the modern Chypra fragrance in the 21st century. Hacivat, on the other hand, being a copy of Creed Aventus, gets an 8. Still a good fragrance. There's a lot of fans also of Hacivat, but I would say that Creed is, like I said, more original than this one. In terms of performance, Hacivat gets a perfect 10. And why is that? Because this is actually beast mode in terms of performance, in terms of longevity. I get maybe 10-12 hours whenever I wear this with just a couple of sprays, and the scent cloud and the sillage is actually quite enormous. So this gets a 10. Aventus, on the other hand, just gets a 7. Although I like the scent better, Aventus is a little bit weaker in terms of longevity, a little bit weaker in terms of performance, in terms of sillage, so it only gets a 7. In terms of price, Creed gets a 5 because to me this is way overpriced. You can get this a little bit less than the $440 US dollars that I mentioned. From discounters, you can probably get this as much as about maybe $300 US dollars, but still I think this is way overpriced. NISHANE HACIVAT gets a 7, although still an expensive fragrance. You can get this from discounters for about maybe $150 US dollars probably, as compared to this, which is about $100 more than this one. For presentation, I'm giving Hacivat a 9, and that's because, you know, the presentation is actually first rate from the box to the bottle. The packaging, everything is first rate about Hacivat. While Creed Aventus gets a 7. While I prefer the bottle of Creed Aventus because of its iconic shape as compared to Hacivat, you know, in terms of packaging, Creed actually suffers because it, you know, if you can just see the packaging of Creed fragrances, they're not really very special at all. Although, like what I've said, I prefer the bottle, the shape of the bottle, more than this. But this gets the bigger share in terms of the rating for the packaging or the presentation. Compliments, Creed Aventus gets a 7. This being, you know, having moderate performance, only gets a 7. I rarely get any compliments whenever I wear this. While Hacivat gets a perfect 10. And this is because, you know, the performance is so much greater, this is so much more potent. So I guess that's the reason why this gets more compliments. Now, tallying the scores, Aventus gets a 7.2, while Hacivat gets an 8.8. So clearly the winner is Hacivat. Now, okay, although Hacivat to me is the winner, I still prefer Creed Aventus though. And the reason is that I think, again, this is more original. This is better blended as compared to Hacivat. This also, although the performance is better, you know, sometimes I'd like to wear a fragrance which is a little bit more moderate in terms of performance, something that doesn't really scream out really very loud. So well, at least to me, this works better more than this. Although I would say that if you're probably contemplating of getting which among these two fragrances you should get, maybe you should get Hacivat. But I guess for serious perfume collectors and those who love the Creed brand, Creed Aventus is definitely a must. So there you have it. I hope that you learned something from, you know, from this comparison video, and I hope that you wouldn't hate me for comparing. These two fragrances have built up their own fans. I am more of a Creed fan more than NISHANE HACIVAT, although in the rating this gets a higher rating. I hope that you will like this video and that you will subscribe to my channel and that you will watch out for my future videos. So thank you for watching, and I hope that I see you soon.